Yeah. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're at Mickey's house. Yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in her house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne. Yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Don't forget. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Don't talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice, respect the vibe, let's share the word. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real, keeps it real. That's the deal, that's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house, oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's see, come on in and hit that light, oh, you're Auntie Mickey's, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, oh.
Happy Wednesday. It's Reese time. I had to run up and get my little snack. And I got a sweet today that will not stop. Somebody want to share some Reese cups with me? Because I really ain't got no business eating them. Let me get back to my comments. Hello, everybody. How are you? Let me get situated here. I'm all off camera. How's everyone doing? Happy Wednesday. It is hump day, right? Got to get over the hump. You got to get over the hump. You got to get over the hump. Okay, I'm going to have 4 Reese cups. There they go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd mail them to you, but I don't share my Reese cups. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. And welcome this evening to one more evening with the crazy lady with the baseball hat. How y'all doing? Let me say hello to everybody. Yes, kind of. I am Lawanda. It's bad out there. It's bad out there. The wind done blown my I have these poles, these solar poles that go up, the lanterns blew right over. I'm pissed about it too. But you know what? I'll just have to, when it calms down, I'll go out there and fix it. But in the meantime, I'm just staying in the house as best I can. So how's everybody doing? Hi, Camille. Hello, Millionaires Cove. Hello, Mr. Phillips. Lisa's World is in the house. C. Gonzalez, hello, sweetheart. I see LaWanda Jackson. Let's see who else is here. Barbara, hello, Barbara. Satin Doll. Just I change my voice when I say her name because she's got that Satin Doll name. Hello, Retretta. Hello, Rachel Hain. Hello. Let's see who else. I think I got everybody. Did I get everybody? Oh, my boo thing. There he is. Hello. How are you, sweetie? Yes, the baby's gone. I rode him around on his little cart thing. He hurt my back. What was I thinking? But he had fun. So I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Cold in Texas, huh? Man, I heard it was cold in Vegas. I'm like, what? 50 degrees? I think somebody said 40 or 50 degrees in Vegas. And I'm like, what? In the desert? I ain't never heard of that before. Global warming. Global warming ain't warm no more. Not right now, at least. So everybody, I hope, is having a wonderful evening this evening. We are the platform that kicks back and relaxes. Kick your feet up. Get you something to snack on, just like I did. I got my little Reese cup, and I got my tea, and I'm good to go. I did all my bathroom run before I got started, so I don't have to get up in the middle of the show to go to the bathroom, because we got weak bladders when we get this old. Anyway, I'm just telling all my business, huh? Oh my goodness. Well, I do have a final update on the DC squatter. I'm going to start out with that first. And you guys may have even heard about it, but I haven't heard anything more other than this. And it's really a shame, after all that that woman has gone through. She still gets kind of screwed in the end, so to speak. It's bad enough that she got screwed with this woman, but then Airbnb, I won't say they screwed her, but they certainly wasn't quite helping, you know what I mean. So I just thought I would put that out there. Let me share my screen with you. It says here, because I heard that the Airbnb people kicked her off the platform, meaning the homeowner. But apparently somebody got their information wrong. It was the squatter who got kicked off the program. But I read over this, and I got this information that it's probably good for people to know if they intend to, go into doing Airbnb for their own properties. Now, it says, in Airbnb's response to 7 News, they reiterated their policies when bookings, agreements, or conversations are made outside of Airbnb. Hosts and guests should always communicate, book, and pay on Airbnb. That's the key. Airbnb. You got to do everything through them. So they're covered by Airbnb's policies and protections. We display warnings across the site to stay on Airbnb, and we provide information on why this is important. It helps ensure both parties are protected by our policies, terms of service, and safeguards like air cover for hosts. These protections are forfeited. Here's the key. These protections are forfeited if users book and pay outside of Airbnb. In other words, when the squatter went to the homeowner and says, I can't, I'm going to have to, hi Empress, I'm going to have to, stay a little bit longer, blah, blah, blah. And, my place isn't ready, or whatever the lie was that she came up with. By doing that, and then the homeowner says, okay, well, I'll give you some extended time, so you're going to have to just pay me another month. Well, at that point, you're stepping off of Airbnb. You're not doing everything through Airbnb. Had she done that, chances are they would have been able to step in and do something. But that one minor misstep cost her a lot. What it says here is essentially, Airbnb could have helped with the situation under the initial 30 days of the booking, but were not able to offer support once the situation moved off the platform. So, in essence, when it moved off the platform is when it went over the 30 days and she agreed to accept payment off of the platform. She wasn't doing everything through the platform. That's where she got screwed. Every booking comes with air cover protection at no extra cost and includes 24/7 support for eligible issues directly related to stays booked and paid for on Airbnb for the duration of the stay. The Airbnb spokesperson said, the company also takes action in cases where users violate their policy, including warnings, suspensions, and even removal. Airbnb confirmed with 7 News that Shadija Romera has been removed from the platform. Not the homeowner. So just wanted to add that clarification because it was reported that the homeowner, as a last, you know, stab in the neck, got kicked off the program. From what I understand, that's not the case. If it is, it would be a shame. But for sure, Shadija can no longer use Airbnb under any circumstances whatsoever. And I took some flack from some people online. I did a video. It was a short, but I did a short video. Hi Dawn, how are you, love? I did a short because I noticed that everybody's talking about the squatter, but nobody was talking about that man with her. Did y'all notice that? She had a whole man with her. And I compared him to the pictures of her on her social media clowning around in Jamaica, dancing around and living her best life in the hotel, and her and this dude is dancing around. Same dude. Same dude. Certainly couldn't, I doubt if it was her brother. You know what I'm saying? But I got some interesting comments to that video. Why are you sticking the man? It's not his fault. She's the one that rented. Listen, I'm old school. Hold on. Empress said, I believe that the squatter knew that it would put the homeowner in a predicament by getting her to make a negotiating an extended stay off Airbnb. Of course, they knew what they were doing. She ain't new to the game. She true to the game. Okay. This is her third rodeo. Third rodeo. So, with that said, I'm sorry. You got a whole man with you. He going on vacation with you. He's carrying the baby carrier. Now, I don't know if that's her baby, grandbaby. Don't care whose baby it is. You got a whole man with you. And she taking all the heat. But yeah, I got kind of verbally attacked for attacking the man. Don't put it on the man. She did this on her own. Man, please. I'm old school. If you're going to have a man, make sure he's a whole man. Not a man that's going to leech off of you and let you take the rap. Let you do all the renting and conniving and whatnot. Taking the fall for everything. Uh-oh. Millionaire's Cove said, Auntie, here in Atlanta, you're not allowed anymore to do big parties over 10 people in the Airbnb. And if you do, you will never be able to book another Airbnb again. And they have ways of finding out. Oh boy, I know they do. I know they do. It's getting serious out there, people. People trying to, they trying to live a decent life. You invest a little bit of money into some property, and here you have somebody that's just coming right along and expecting you to foot the bill for them to live their best life as if they're some teenager in high school. Oh, well, I still live at home, so mama and daddy got to take care of me. Bullshit. No, that's not happening. Okay, let me see. Dawn said something. Dawn says, I'm good, Auntie. Wore out. Had 4 of my grandbabies here for the past 2 days. I was go, go, go. Girl, listen. You good. You good. You better than me. I don't know if I could deal with 4. I mean, it's bad enough you have a daycare and you have a lot of kids, but then your grandkids come over and they have special priority. Child, I commend y'all. Hey, QT, how are you? Hello, Trina Powell. Yeah, that's crazy. That's some crazy business. I know you wore out too, Dawn. 4 grandkids. Bless your heart. You don't look old enough to have 4 grandchildren. You really don't. Looking at your picture, your avatar, you do not look like you have 4 grandbabies. Wow. Bless your heart. You have 5. Ooh, wee. God bless you. How many kids do you have? 51. Oh, yeah, you're a young grandma. You're a young grandma. And they're probably really young too, huh? Full of energy. You have 2 daughters. Oh, okay. Yep, God knew what he was doing when he didn't give me girls. I tell Papa, I tell Uncle all the time. Oh, they're aged 7 to 9 months. Yeah, you got them young. They're young. Camille has a grandchild. Wow, you guys look so young to be. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Keep up yourself. Keep up because you're going to have to keep up with them. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. But yeah, grandkids are a blessing. They really are. 7, 6, 5, 2, and 9 months. You got a whole daycare right there. You got a whole daycare right there. God knew what he was doing when he didn't give me girls. I say that all the time because my husband wanted daughters. And I'm like, no. Because that little one of them little heifers got one time to go into my clothes, into my makeup, into my purse. And it's on and popping. No, I don't share well. So God knew what he was doing. And see, I know how it is as a young girl in high school. And if you think you're going to go out there coochie popping, that's that dance they do, that twerking and stuff. You're going to go out coochie popping and think I don't know about it. Boo, listen. I know what you're doing because everything you did, I done twice. She stays in your purse, huh? See there? I tell you, them girls, they something else. Hello, Benjamin. Yes, I hope you had a wonderful day as well. Absolutely. So yeah, I wanted to bring you that to your attention, that there was some conflicting information out there about the property owner getting kicked out of the Airbnb program, but that's really not the case. If there is something more that we don't know about, I'm sure I'll find out and I'll come back and tell you because I'm a tattletale. But I don't want anybody else to face that situation. The stuff I talk about here on this platform, I don't talk about it just because it's something to talk about or it's something trending. In this case, yes, it was trending. But I try to make it a point to bring things to the forefront that are going to help people that are watching. That's the bottom line. You know, I talk about the scamming a lot. I don't see a whole lot of platforms talking about scams in terms of, elderly or older people, retired people, things of that nature, especially in the black tea sector, which I'm not sure how I ended up in the black tea sector, but okay, I'm here. So I'm going to do everything I can to help those in the black tea sector at least be educated in what to look for, what not to look for. My grandson came to me today and he said, "Ma, I put that money in the ATM that you gave me." And I said, the first thing I said was, "You did what? You used an ATM." First of all, it was 2:00 in the morning. This is where my little spidey ears go up. 2:00 in the morning. You're alone. Yeah, you're 19, but you're alone. You go to an ATM and you deposit some money into the ATM account or ATM machine. And he said, well, what's wrong with that? So I had to sit him down and explain to him there are little mechanisms that some of these scammers have now that they can insert into an ATM machine and you'd never know it. Hello, Black. How are you? Good to see you, Black. But there's little, I don't recall what they call them, but they're little devices that they can slip into that slot on an ATM machine. And anyone that puts their card in there, and it could be at a bank, it could be at a credit union, anywhere where there's one of those machines, they can slip that thing in there and walk away. And people will go up and use this thing left and right. And those things are actually taking your information and transmit the gas station. That's right. Transmitting that information to the scammer. And why you think you know, oh, I'm using my ATM card at the bank. It's outside. And sometimes they don't even care if there's a camera watching. They cover themselves up. They do their thing. By the time they've done their thing, they've walked away unidentified. And then the next thing you know, your bank account is zeroed out. Uh-oh, wait a second. Hold on, Black. Let me put you up here. Black says, letting everyone know there's a fake account going around impersonating me. Be sure to pay attention to spellings and capitals. It's not me, I promise. Okay, Black. I'll definitely keep an eye open. I hope they're not trying to scam. They'll get cussed out. But this is how scammers operate. They impersonate people's accounts. They oh my God, they get into they create fake Facebook accounts, fake YouTube accounts, all to get your information. Wow, Black, I am so sorry. That's right, LaWanda. Truth be told, all they need to do is stand beside you with some kind of way and your info will magically transfer to theirs. Yeah, that airdrop. If you've got an iPhone and if you've got airdrop, sometimes they can. Remember I reported on the trackers? Those little trackers that they can just toss into your pocket without you knowing? And they'll follow you all the way home. And you have no idea you're being followed. It's getting dangerous out there. Technology has been a good thing and it's been a bad thing. Thank you, Black. Your iPhone was hacked. Jesus, Black. I am so sorry. What in the world is this? Posted 1 hour ago. Peak traffic on AI clips. Why do they have that on here? Let me exit out of that. It's taking up too much space on my screen. Excuse me, Mr. Phillips said, hey, Auntie, I was on your other page on here. It's just showing and you can't hear you but see the chat. Huh? I was on your other page on here. It's just showing and you can't hear you but see the chat. I don't know I don't know why. I see the chat and I only see me a little bit. But there was a banner up here too that I just exited. I just exited out. Let me see if I can do something. I'll change that. How is that? Is that better? How is that? Does that look better? So I had to back out and come back. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Phillips. They doing so much with StreamYard and it's annoying. Very annoying. But anyway, like I said, you guys, I come here to give as much information that can be helpful to you guys as possible. It's not always about shucking and jiving and beefing with other people, because once you get off of this YouTube, you still got to live your life. I think he means the other lives, sweetheart. Okay, good. You can hear and see me now. Good. Good. I don't know what it is, Mr. Phillips. It's annoying. That it is. It really, really is. Let me take this down. So anyway, I was looking more into Rob Reiner and his wife's situation. Oh, it's so sad. It's very sad. And this story has been developing like wildfire pretty much all day. Let me move my Reese cups out the way before I stick my finger in it by accident. But there was some more information. You may have heard of it. You may not. Hi, Prophetic Proverbs. How are you, sweetheart? Yes, it is. Wait, which one? You talking about the Rob Reiner or the scamming? Because I'm talking about both of them. Oh my goodness. Benjamin says somebody took money out of my account, but bank made me aware on the second withdrawal. They tried second exactly after first one went through for $100. They then tried 95. It was Nigerian money order. Lord have mercy. And you know what? A lot of these people, I hate to say it, they sitting over on the other side of the world. A lot of this is not really happening right here in the States. It's happening to us. But they're sitting over at a computer over in Russia or India. You know what I'm saying? Hard to catch up with them. They can be caught, though. They can be caught. So, but I hope everything turned out for you, Benjamin. I hope they gave you your money back. So sometimes you don't get your money back. If you got a good bank and you report it quick enough, you can. Hooey. But yeah, we're living in some really trying times right now where, you can wake up one morning and find that eggs are $10 a dozen. It's just that weird. It's just that weird. People are being unalived left and right by family members. And I understand, mental illness and substance abuse being an issue in this particular case. And it's horrific that we have a president that has no moral compass. Unfortunately, he has no moral compass. I don't care if you don't like a person's politics. Politics has nothing to do with what happened to him and his wife, meaning Rob Reiner and his wife. This whole family is devastated, and it has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, Independent, none of that. Bottom line is Satan. If you really want to know the deal, is Satan all up in there? But, we've got a president who has no concept of anything godly. I'll put it like that. And none of us are, look, I don't profess to be perfect, but I know who my Redeemer is. And I know that when things happen, we have to be compassionate, even if we don't like the person, even if we don't agree with the person. Oh yeah, Benjamin, you're absolutely right. It went well. Regularly check your balances and passwords. Even your SSI number if someone applied for credit in your name. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I know about that one. Trust me. But the Reiner murders. Nick Reiner had been dealing with substance abuse and mental illness for years and years and years. And a lot of information that hasn't already come out has. I mean, that hadn't come out yesterday has. So apparently the son has hired an attorney, a big time attorney by the name of Alan Jackson. Alan Jackson actually, he was the defensive attorney for Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein, and one other person that slips my mind, but big time defense attorney. So, you know, he's got some serious backing. But excuse me. Apparently, with the charges that they have on him, the death penalty is definitely on the table, which is a big deal in the state of California, because the death penalty hasn't really pushed the death penalty for over 50 years. Karen Reed, thank you, Down South Stitcher. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing? I didn't see you come in. So yeah, Karen Reed. So death penalty is on the table, even though Governor Gavin Newsom, the woman that ran over that cop a while ago, okay, yeah, Gavin Newsom put a moratorium on the death penalty back in 2019. So they haven't really had an execution since 2006. It's been a while. Let's see. Yeah, Auntie, he was out of pocket about what he said about Rob. My first question was like, what does that have to do with him doing his job in the White House? Exactly. But again, we dealing with the orangutan man is not wrapped too tight. Down South, you was number 2 in the chat tonight. I did not see you. You know, I'd have shouted you out. I shout everybody out when I see them. So if I missed you, I apologize. Yeah, QT, that was way out of pocket. Way out of pocket. So much so that his own people are starting to turn on him. But because of the moratorium that Gavin Newsom put on the death penalty, it's rarely applied. Now, it's available. The Grinch that stole the White House. Look at that, Mr. Phillips. You done took an idea that I'm going to put into motion. I think I'm going to make a thumbnail. The Grinch who stole the White House. I love it. I love it. I'm going to get ChatGPT to help me out. So due to who we're talking about here and the contribution of Rob Reiner, you know, the contribution that he's made to Hollywood, to his legacy, you know, he's a beloved icon. And it's really a big, huge gesture for them to go that length to consider the death penalty. But it's not very likely, in my opinion. Now, I might be wrong. You sitting in the back cross-stitching. I hear you, don't. So. Oh, my goodness. And they also said that they're going to take the family's wishes under consideration in the charges. Some of these charges, there's no way around it. But if it comes down to the death penalty, of course, they're definitely going to consider these siblings that are left behind, because yet and still, that's still their brother. They're still grieving. Auntie, did you hear Melanie reading that Christmas story to those children? No, I didn't. Who is Melanie? Who we talking about here? I couldn't understand nothing. You talking about Melania? 'Cause I know a lot of Melanies, and they don't talk with an accent. But when you said I couldn't understand nothing she was saying, that must have been Melania. Yeah, immigrant. Am I right? Immigrant. I don't see you running her out of here. Oh, I'm sorry, you brought her here. Oh, what was I thinking? Mm. So yeah, but they've got these special circumstances charge pushed in the option to justify going for the death penalty. So that's what the purpose of that special circumstances thing was. But they kind of broke it down as to what exactly went down. Now, we all know that Rob Reiner and his wife went to I got my notes up here because I be forgetting stuff. They went to Conan O'Brien's, who the Grinch wife. Yeah, the Grinch wife. She need to be painted green. Orange and green match. You know that goes together, right? Green and orange. They would be perfect. Christmas colors almost. But they went to Conan O'Brien's holiday party Saturday night. And Rob and his wife were invited, but the son wasn't. They took him because they were not comfortable leaving him home alone. Well, there you have one issue right there. They're concerned that something might happen. They got to keep an eye on him. And apparently they had an argument at the party to the point where other people could hear them arguing. Yes, he was a decent man, Benjamin. Yes. Bill Hader, yes. So, Nick went to the Conan O'Brien's party with his parents on Saturday night. They get into somewhat of a loud enough for other people to hear argument. Okay. And then they leave shortly thereafter to go home together because, Nick lived with them. Yes, he was acting really weird. So around 4 a.m., now here's kind of like a timeline. Argument at the party. We don't know specifically when things took place after they got home. But around 4 a.m., Nick checks into a hotel in Santa Monica. 4 o'clock in the morning. Ain't that wild? Just out of the blue. So at least it makes me believe that maybe they got into an argument. I'm just speculating. Maybe they got into an argument and they told him to leave. You got to go. We can't take you no more. You tripping. So he goes to this hotel and he checks into this hotel at 4 o'clock in the morning. Which is, like I said, it's unusual. No reservation was pre-done or anything. Nothing. The next thing we know is at some point in time, of course, he never physically checked out or formally, he never formally checked out of the hotel. Okay. He never checked out of the hotel formally. So when the people go in to clean the rooms, okay, the staff who entered the room to clean after his departure said that he had covered the windows with bed sheets. Now, you know how a room's set out. When you go to a hotel and you've got the curtains, you've got the blinders, whatever, but they've got those big, they're not drapes. They blot out the sun. They blot everything out, make it as dark as possible. And those were all closed, but then bed sheets were on top of that. It's just weird. Exactly, QT. But that's scary. because you don't know what that person might do to themselves. Shades, yes, similar to Shades, Millionaire's Cove. And so when he arrived at the hotel, just kind of backtracking, when he arrived at the hotel, there was no physical marks on him, nothing, no blood, no evidence of a struggle, nothing. Benjamin says, until one deals with rugs or mentally ill people, it's very difficult. Until one does, they have no idea. Yes, his parents coddled him, but it's it's a hard call to make. We are not them. And I'm here to tell you, I have been in his shoes. Yes, true, Benjamin. But listen to this story and then you'll see why. You'll see why the bed sheets were up. He didn't want nobody to be able to look in because of what was going down in that room. That's part of the problem. Because there was no, to my knowledge, and it hasn't been reported that there was any signs of any rug activity in that room. Remember, he checked in at 4 a.m. in the morning. Checkout time is 11 a.m. That's 7 hours. 7 hours between the time that he checked in till checkout time. 7 hours. At some point in time, ain't you got to sleep? But that's not what happened. Okay. So like I said, there was no cuts, no visible injuries to him. And then it said that they believe that he checked into the hotel, left the hotel, and went back to Brentwood. Remember that 7-hour period of time? Okay. 7 hours. He checked into a hotel at 4 a.m. They believe that he left the hotel, went back to Brentwood, committed the crime, and then went back to the hotel. Okay, hold on. Yes, they did, Mr. Phillips. I read that the parents had a meeting and could not locate anyone at the gate, so the daughter was called. She went in and saw her father's body, came out and called authorities. Yes. Isn't that horrible? To find your daddy. Jesus. Yeah, they believe that they suspect that he, left the home because they got an argument at the party. They left, they went home. Chances are maybe the conversation happened some more and he left. Whether they probably put him out, said you got to get up out of here. So he went, got a hotel room, but he was pissed. He came back. Okay. It's believed that he came back. Apparently he was driving his own vehicle, but he committed the crime. And judging from the argument at Conan's house, he had to stay somewhere. So he goes back to the hotel after he commits the crime. And that is why before, or should I say, while he was there for that short period of time between the time he got back there and the time he left without checking out, where did all this blood come from? He didn't have all that blood on him when he checked in. Absolutely, Mr. Phillips. Yes, they say he kept bothering the other guests at the party, asking them if they were celebrities and acting weird. And I guess Rob Reiner and his wife were embarrassed and may have told him to leave or told him to stop. So the hotel, the housekeeper goes in. She discovers all this stuff going. She discovers blood in the tub. blood on the bed sheets. It was a shit show. Just an awful shit show. And the windows were covered with bed sheets. Curtains drawn closed. So the hotel calls the police. Robbery and homicide arrive and they check out the hotel room. Then they catch Nick later on that evening around 20 miles down the road by a train station near USC. Robbery homicide calls in the U.S. Marshals because they specialize in fugitives. And because of the high profile status of this case, of course, they called them in to help, to assist with the arrest. It's almost like a movie. When you think about it, it's almost like a movie. So when the daughter discovers the parents' bodies, she wasn't there, and when the hotel staff discovered all the blood, what did I write? Yeah, it feels as though he was fleeing from getting caught. Yes, you're getting all ahead of me now. Yeah. Well, he was driving. When are people gonna realize I am not taking calls? Oh, Jesus. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I wasn't expecting that to happen. My phone, normally I have the ringer off. So let me get my head straight. I don't like to be interrupted like that. So yes, he was in the process of fleeing when they found him. Hold on just a second. Okay, we have a little piece of TMZ where Michelle gave a little piece of what she said. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about this. Hold on.
Michelle Obama was on Late last night, and she actually responded to what Trump was saying. And she actually also said that she and Barack were supposed to hang out with the Reiners on Sunday night.
That night? How long have you known the Reiners? we've known them for many, many years, and we were supposed to be seeing them that night, last night. And we got the news. And let me just say this, unlike some people, Rob and Michele Reiner are some of the most decent, courageous people you ever want to know. They're not deranged or crazed. What they have always been are passionate people in a time when there's not a lot of courage going on. They were the kind of people who were ready to put their actions behind
That's
what they
right.
cared about. And they cared about their family, and they cared about this country, and they cared about fairness and equity. And that is the truth. I do know them.
I mean, I think it's very powerful what she said, and I like how she used Donald Trump's words against him, but never even mentioned his name in it, not to give it light.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I enjoy that part too. She handled that very classy. I gotta give her 100% credit. She handled that very, very classy. Because had that been me, ooh, I'd have tore him a new one. The way he talked about that man. But he's paying the price for it. He's paying the price. His people are really, really, really fed up with the bullshit. I mean, a lot of Republicans that used to ride or die for him, they're fed up with the BS. Don't forget about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't forget about her. She's definitely, she used to be his biggest ride or die.
we saw the major fallout happen yesterday with his statements on the tragic murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. MAGA faithful reacted big time, and they called it out. It's all over social media. People, his supporters, including myself, we didn't appreciate hearing the president, who himself was shot, and after Charlie Kirk's horrific murder, we didn't appreciate, even if you don't agree with Rob Reiner politically, there was no reason for his statement to be the statement that he made.
The president called him bad for our country and said he was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned.
I thought that statement was absolutely completely below the office of the president of the United States, classless, and it was just wrong. From my understanding, what I've seen on the news, it was drug abuse and mental illness. And many families across America deal with family members that are drug addicts or have mental health issues. And I think the president should have responded with compassion and talked about those issues. He didn't have to make it about politics.
Absolutely.
Well, you and I are both obsessive about sleep, like when we're working,
So yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely, Mr. Phillips. He needs to respect the dead. This is not about politics. This is not about who rides for you or anything like that. This is a human being. He was a major contributor to Hollywood. And truth be told, if Hollywood didn't embrace Donald Trump the way they did, he wouldn't be as big as he is. Let the record show. Don't forget, he was a reality star before he came to the White House. But he wants everybody to respect him. He wants everybody to feel sorry for him when that assassination attempt took place. They want all that, he wants all that accolade and all that sympathy. But God forbid somebody else has gone through something just horrendous. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He wants all of this. He wants all of the sympathy, but he doesn't want to reciprocate to others because of their political standing. And that is the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm sorry I used the R word, but for him it applies. For him it applies. I believe that too, Barbara, to be truthful about it. Benjamin says, where you just have to let it ride out. He was in rehab 17 or 18 times, I believe. But all in all, I believe if Reiner was here, he still would be telling us to be gentle with his son. He loved him. Absolutely, Benjamin. See, you have to have been in them shoes to understand what a parent goes through when they have a mentally challenged child. I had one too. And trust and believe, I went through hell with my son. It was a scary time, but that didn't make me love him any less. It was a scary time. He was very intimidating, not to me, but to people. You see what I'm saying? And a parent's love does not change, but you do have to stand and show them exactly who the parent is and who the child is. Even when they're grown, they have to be reminded of that. They have to be reminded of that. But having a mentally ill child is no joke. And it's not something that you can just walk away from, whether you got money or not. He loved his son. But at some point in time, you do have to put your foot down too. You have to almost shake them into reality. And I've been in them shoes. Me and Uncle been in them shoes. It's not easy. But you got to put a lot of prayer into it too. A lot of people don't do that. They don't get on their knees and ask God to help. That's where people fall short. You can't handle it by yourself. You know, we have people that are out there that specialize in this, but at the end of the day, who is in real control? Who has the ability to just snap their fingers and change everything? Only God has that ability. So these parents, they were showing compassion to their son. And he was being weird at the party. You have to still be firm with them. Absolutely. So I found a content creator. I found a platform here by the name of Scandal with Sierra. I can't pronounce her last name. But she did a wonderful commentary on this very situation. And I'm not going to play her entire video because I don't need YouTube to be biting me in the ass. You know what I'm saying. But if you bear with me for just a moment, I'm going to pull her up and I'm going to take segments from her video here. Let's see, where is the other one? I think I'm missing one. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let me get it in the right place. Okay, this is going to be the best I can do. So, hold on just a second.
Long, and Conan agreed. THR reports Nick's behavior had become, quote, extreme and stressful in recent weeks. According to People magazine, Nick had previously battled drug addiction for many years, starting around the age of 15. In 2015, his father, Rob, spoke about all of this to Entertainment Weekly, saying, quote, there's no end to it. Whatever the issues are that you will struggle with and the reason why you self-medicated with either drugs or alcohol or gambling or sex addiction, whatever it is, those issues are there and you have to wrestle with them and deal with those issues your whole life. And hopefully with the right kind of help, you can manage those things so that you don't wind up self-medicating. Those issues are always going to be there and we don't wrap it up with a happy bow. It's life goes on.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, is that sometimes they have to self-medicate because they have to have some kind of control. And I can only speak from the experience that I experienced with my son. Sometimes these doctors, they play games, they experiment on these people on mental illness. They give them all kind of medication and they don't know which ones are going to work together with other ones. So they're throwing pills at these people to see what works. And unfortunately, it can cause more damage than good. Exactly, Dawn. I think I told y'all yesterday, my son came to me and he said, Mom, I can't function off of this stuff. I can't function. I can't function. He was a young man. By this time, he was about 20 years old. His first episode, he was 19. I had to hospitalize him. His very first episode, it got so bad, he was running up and down the street. I'm talking, it was scary. It was scary. And I was so helpless. I was so helpless. All I could do was just sit there and cry because I couldn't help my baby. And I saw him in such mental anguish, so much pain. And all you want to do as a mother is just hold him and tell him it's going to be okay. And at this particular time, we had no idea that this was a mental illness break. We thought that maybe he had gotten a hold of some bad weed, They finally had to come and get him from the house and put him in a straitjacket and take him to the hospital. And it was awful for that doctor to tell me. I asked the doctor, I said, what is it? Did he get a hold of some bad weed or some sherm or what is it? He said, ma'am, I only wish that was what it was. Because at least that would be temporary. But what you're dealing with now is lifelong. It's heartbreaking. It is. And it's so difficult to even think back to that time. Because I felt so helpless. Both me and my husband, we couldn't do nothing. But just be there for him. We had to put him in a mental hospital against his will for 72 hours. Yeah, they do have a lot of bills, Rachel. Hold on.
People magazine reports that Nick was in and out of rehab for years, spending time at a total of 18 rehabs over the course of a decade. In 2015, Nick co-wrote the movie Being Charlie about his experience as an addict. His father, Rob, directed the movie, and while on a press tour for that film, Rob was really open about Nick's addiction. He went on to tell Entertainment Weekly, quote, you don't know what to do when your child is struggling with this, and you want to help them because your first charge as a parent is to keep your child safe. And if you see them running into the street, you want to grab them before the truck hits them. So I didn't know what to do. So I did what they told me. But what I've learned is that you know your child better. And I should have listened to my own gut more than what the experts were telling me.
I can totally understand what he's saying there. I can completely understand what he's saying right there. They can tell you all kinds of stuff, but you know your child. You know your child. And in this particular instance, he's referring to the addiction aspect. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mental illness aspect. the medication that they were throwing at him. Left and right, try this, try that. Years later, I see a commercial for a class action suit on the first medication they gave him. They were experimenting. That's the problem I have. But then when they can't find a solution with what the professionals are giving them, then they do tend to step out on their own and self-medicate. That is why I am a proponent for marijuana. Now, I don't condone going out there getting on all kind of other illegal substances, but doggone it. Yeah, they use these kids, they use them as guinea pigs. Especially those of color. I'm going to throw that out there. People may not like to hear that, but it's the truth. Exactly, Mr. Phillips. It's ironic you said that too. Because that's how my mom got pregnant. And that's why they named me Mickey. And you can put those two together and figure out what I'm saying. Yeah. He slipped her a Mickey. Literally. So yes, I can understand this young man was self-medicating. And it got to be too much. You know, treatment sometimes is not the key. Treatment is part of the key. You got to find a balance. And this man was in emotional turmoil. Emotional turmoil is hard to deal with by yourself. Nobody understands.
According to multiple reports, Rob and Michelle's guts were telling them that something was off with Nick in recent weeks. TMZ reports that Michelle even told her friends that she was at her wits' end and had tried everything to resolve Nick's drug and mental health issues. According to The Hollywood Reporter, in the weeks leading up to his parents' murders, Nick was living in his parents' guest house alongside their home in West Hollywood, specifically in the Brentwood neighborhood. And long before that home became a crime scene, Rob and Michelle were reluctant to leave Nick home alone. So what do? They bring him to Conan's Christmas party on Saturday. And that is where Nick ran into Bill Hader. Multiple sources say Bill was involved in a conversation when Nick inserted himself. Bill Hader allegedly replied very calmly, saying, this is a private conversation. Thank you so much. Then Nick reportedly glared at Bill Hader for an uncomfortable amount of time. About all of this, a source told People magazine, quote, Nick was freaking everyone out, acting crazy, kept asking people if they were famous. A family friend and a neighbor said something similar to the New York Post. They said, quote, they had an argument at Conan's holiday party, and Rob had been telling people that they're scared for Nick and scared that his mental state was deteriorating. Now, this same neighbor told the Post that Nick was supposedly off drugs after years of battling an opiate and heroin addiction. But more recently, the family learned that he may have fallen off the wagon and was using again. Another neighbor told the Post, quote, I know the parents wanted him to get help, go to rehab, but he wanted to get help while at home. He did not want to get treatment at a facility, and I know they've argued about that for years.
I can understand that too. Because when you're dealing with someone that has mental issues and they're trying to cope with it the best they can, they don't want to be somewhere that they don't have that connection, that love connection between their loved ones, their mother, their father. So you send them to a facility to get them off the drugs, and they're not treating them with the love that we would treat them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not making myself clear, but my son, whenever he would have his episodes, he would run home. He would run home. He would run home because this was home for him. He felt love here. You don't feel love in those facilities. You feel direction. You feel like you're locked up. He got a hold to the wrong stuff to self-medicate. And whatever he used to self-medicate did more harm than good. But there's nothing like being able to go home. It's easier to go home to someone that can love you and hold you and just pray for you. You don't get that in them facilities. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't get that kind of love.
So we know for sure about an argument that broke out at Conan's Christmas party, but there was reportedly another public argument between Nick and Rob Reiner just a few months ago. The New York Post reports this happened at Georgian Baldin. It's a restaurant in Santa Monica Canyon. And allegedly, during all of this, Rob wanted Nick to seek treatment once again while Nick was refusing to go back to rehab. And according to the Post, Rob quickly left after there was this fight at the restaurant. But these arguments between Nick and Rob Reiner date back more than just a couple of months. Remember when I mentioned that 2015 movie Being Charlie? Well, a stunt actor for that movie told Page Six that he witnessed a fight on the set. He said that Rob and Nick were just going off on each other. He said, quote, "You could tell Nick was spoiled and Rob was just sick of his stuff. I just assumed whether this is correct or not, this kid must be pushing all his buttons. Rob can't do anything right. Nick's a Nepo baby, a spoiled kid to the T." And all of this leads us back to Saturday night. Rob and Michele reportedly left Conan's not long after this argument with Nick. And hours later, at about 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, December 14th, their youngest daughter, Romy, found their bodies inside their Brentwood home. They'd reportedly been stabbed to death, TMZ even reporting their throats were slit.
Oh my goodness. That's awful. That's awful. You guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break down like this, but I can definitely relate to where these parents were coming from. I understand where these parents were coming from, and it's awful that he didn't get the proper treatment. It's like trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. You know, I don't even know if that even makes sense. They said that he got back on opioids and then heroin. Hi, Faith. Sweetheart, people have been in this chat asking about you. Just a few minutes ago. Welcome back, love. Oh, my goodness. Well, like I said, you know, thank you, Millionaires Cove. And this is not, you guys, this is not about me or my situation. I'm just saying I can understand because I've been there with my son when he was going through this thing. Now, I don't know what Nick's diagnosis is. I don't know. Any kind of mental illness that causes you to lose your ability to control yourself is never good. Okay, so meth was one of them. I don't know which one. I can tell you one thing, though. I am a proponent, and I'll say it from the mountaintops. I believe that marijuana should be legalized all over the place for people that can't quite get it together with the help of the so-called professionals that supposedly know better. But I'm here to tell you, a lot of them, they experiment. When it comes down to those pharmaceuticals, they just experiment with these kids, especially our kids, our black children, our children of color. They experiment. You don't see them experimenting as much on other people. But when it comes down to our kids in our community, it's either they don't treat them at all or they'll just give them anything to get them out of their hair. I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. And my son told me, he says, Mom, I can't even function. I can't function off of this. So they took him off of one and they put him on lithium. And that didn't seem to help. And they had him on Depakote. They had him on Risperdal, lithium. Finally, he just said, you know what? I ain't taking none of this shit no more. Let me roll up a few blunts. And you know that helped him more than any drug they ever gave him. He actually, after his first episode, I would have to say maybe about a year later, he became a father. He became a father. And fatherhood was one of the things that helped him. It didn't cure him, but it gave him the courage to really put his best foot forward to be the best man he could be for his son. But he sure did smoke that weed every day, and he was able to go to work. He was able to provide for his kids. He had 2 sons, as a matter of fact. One is now 19, the other one is 12. Now, my son is no longer here to see his kids grow up. And sometimes I thank God for taking him out of here so he doesn't have to look at all this craziness around him. Because ain't no telling what that would do to his mind. I know that sounds funny. It sounds weird. But I'm just saying what I'm saying. As he was able to function. His last job he had, he became a manager for a dispensary. Went to work every day. Functioned every day. So, but my heart goes out to this family, what's left of this family, because mental illness combined with illicit pharmaceuticals it's a ticket to shit. It's a ticket to hell. It really is. This is what the result is when you try to get the professionals involved, and this isn't working and that isn't working, and the parents are at a standstill. They love this person, but they're having a hard time working it all out, and they can't do it all. Putting them in rehab is not always the solution. Maybe you might want to look into why he needs rehab. Why is he continuously turning to these illicit drugs? Is he trying to cope with something? Those are the questions that need to be asked. It's really sad. I'm sorry. Let me move up a little bit. We have some footage here of his actual arrest. If you could stand by for just a second. Hold on just a second.
Arrested at about 9:15 p.m. on Sunday. And this is some new information we have from yesterday into today. We now have video of Nick's arrest and the moments leading up to it. So before his arrest, you can see Nick inside of this convenience store. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. And it looks like he buys a bottle of something before he heads out. Nick was then arrested in the Exposition Park area near downtown Los Angeles and the USC campus. Video also shows his arrest just after 9 p.m. on Sunday.
So specifically, he was arrested in a public area in the Exposition Park area near the University of Southern California campus. He was approached by the officers and he was arrested without incident. There were no indications that there was no indication that he was going to resist or anything like that. He didn't flee or anything like that. He was taken into custody without issue, and he was transported to our police headquarters facility.
Nick was taken into custody that night and booked into jail. Yesterday, the Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman announced the charges Nick Reiner now faces.
Today, I'm here to announce that our office will be filing charges against Nick Reiner, who is accused of killing his parents, actor-director Rob Reiner, and photographer-producer Michele Reiner. These charges will be 2 counts of first-degree murder with the special circumstance of multiple murders. He also faces a special allegation that he personally used a dangerous and deadly weapon, that being a knife. These charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. No decision at this point has been made with respect to the death penalty.
All of that leads us into Nick Reiner's first court appearance that happened just this morning. Now, his attorney, Alan Jackson, was present, and so is Nick, but he isn't shown on camera.
I'm curious how he's really able to control himself while he's locked up right now. I'm curious to know exactly what are they doing for him while he's awaiting the court dates. And I'm just curious. I know I know what he's in there for, but I don't know. I'm almost scared to ask, what are they doing for him while he's locked up?
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson, along with Caleb Mason, on behalf of Mr. Reiner, who's currently present in court in custody.
Almost right away, before anything gets underway, Alan Jackson asks for a continuance, meaning he wants the arraignment pushed off until January 7th.
Your Honor, if you could, I would like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment. I want to complete this juncture. It's too early. We've coordinated with counsel from the DA's office, and January 7th, the court's permission will be a convenient date for us to come back for petition.
Thank you. This time I'll take a waiver, speedy arraignment waiver from your client. Mr. Reiner, you have a constitutional and statutory right to speedy arraignment. Your counsel is requesting that your arraignment be continued to January 7, 2026. Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment can be heard on January 7, 2026? And does counsel join in the waiver?
I join, Your
The
Honor.
court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy arraignment, and that is counsel joins in that waiver. Letter set January 7, 2026 for arraignment. This department failed to stand at no bail.
So all of that happened. No plea entered, no sight of Nick Reiner in the courtroom, even though he was there. Outside of the courtroom, though, Alan Jackson spoke to reporters, but once again, didn't say much.
This is a devastating tragedy that has befallen the Reiner family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family. There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. Those need to be thoroughly, but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. And we ask that process, you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves. So with that, we are set for January 7th for an arraignment. That's the next court date. And that's all I have to say at this point. There may be more at some other point, but today we're going to rest on where we stand procedurally, which is this was a continuance of arraignment. Nothing happened today substantively. We'll be back for an arraignment in the same department on the 7th of January. We'll see you then.
So yeah, I'm just curious. This is an ongoing issue. This is going to be an ongoing issue. How is he paying for that lawyer? Well, his daddy was a big time director, and he does have other siblings that I'm sure, I'll put this up here. Benjamin says, how is he paying for that lawyer? He is a heavy hitter. It would be strange for him to hit family coffers after what he did. Well, not necessarily strange. From the outside looking in, that might be the case, but again, you got to consider that this man, he's not all there. He's not all there. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not giving him a pass by any means. It would be weird, that daddy's money is now mom. Well, she wasn't his mom, but it is weird that his parents' money is now going to be what protects him in the legal system. We don't know how that works. We don't have it like that. But he does. But I'm just curious how they're going to treat this. I'm curious how they're going to treat this, because there's excuse me, there's not just the substance abuse, there's the mental illness. One causes the other. Exactly, Millionaire's Cove. And I think that maybe the treatment that was sought was not the treatment that he needed. You see what I'm saying? There's other ways to treat without giving them man-made pharmaceuticals. Now, me personally, I mean, marijuana is a plant. Now, what they add to the weed nowadays, you know, if you buying it off the street especially, ain't no telling what's in it. But, I mean, just straight up marijuana, if that will make you balanced, yes, ma'am, the herb. It's an herb. God made that herb. Man didn't come right out from the beginning of time and say, God, what is this? And let me change it. No, God created that first. There's plants have been put here for medicinal reasons since the beginning of time. Exactly. So, you know, people need to understand that pills ain't always ain't the answer, but natural organic things such as weed. I'm here to tell you, High Life Chronicles. I'm here to tell you, it worked for my son. He was able to function when he stopped taking them pills and walked away from them doctors. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and again, he would have a little relapse here and there, you know, an episode here and there, but he had a safe haven here. And he conditioned himself that if he started feeling kind of weird, it's time to go to mama's house. There's no judgment at mama's house. And I'm going to give it to you like straight from the gut. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. And I'm going to be here to support you regardless. So I'm a firm believer that they throw these pills at people first of all, pills are what makes money for these pharmaceutical companies. Why would they expect people to, you know, run out to the dispensary when, you know, pharmaceutical companies are bleeding everybody dry? Nothing like some good old homegrown. That's right. So I'm just curious how they're going to continue with this. Hold on just a second. I got one more little clip to show you, and then I'm going to wrap this up because I done got too emotional up here. I really did. I didn't mean to. Rob Reiner had a lot of friends in the business. And unfortunately, Mr. Trump doesn't understand that. Hold on.
To Rob Reiner. For the first time since his death, his close friends like actor Billy Crystal have spoken out. A joint statement reads in part, quote, "There is no other director who has his range. From comedy to drama to mockumentary, the documentary, he was always at the top of his game. He charmed audiences. They trusted him. They lined up to see his films. His comedic touch was beyond compare. His love of getting the music, of the dialogue just right, and his sharpening of the edge of a drama was simply elegant. Strong and determined, Michele and Rob Reiner devoted a great deal of their lives for the betterment of our fellow citizens. They were a special force together, dynamic, unselfish, and inspiring. We were their friends, and we will miss them forever. Each man's life touches so many other lives, and when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he? You have no idea. This is just one of those cases that I personally cannot stop thinking about. And I really want answers. I know you guys do too.
So again, I just, like I said, I'm very curious how this is going to play out in the court of public opinion, for one, because a lot of people don't understand what it is to deal with someone in your family that is mentally ill and taking pharmaceuticals on top of it. And I just think it's deplorable that we have a president in the office that just has no compassion whatsoever. Exactly, Faith. Now, I was always told if you don't have nothing good to say, just don't say nothing at all. And he does know better. He really does. He knows better. He wants all the sympathy that you can give him when it's him. Hi, Catherine Powell. How are you, love? So, again, we're going to stay tuned. We're going to stay close to this case. I mean, it's big. We already know it's huge. And there's going to be tons and tons of people reporting on it. But I don't know. I got a little something extra invested in this in my heart. You know, I look at that young man and I don't condone what he did, but I understand the struggle in the head. And coming from a mother who had a son with a struggle in the head, it's hard to wrap my head around the fact that he took his own parents out. So I just hope that he gets all the help that he is entitled to. Because there's some real pissed off people out there that feel like, he was just a brat. He was a rich brat that couldn't have his way. Absolutely, Faith. But, unfortunately, this is what happens to public figures. I would like to just remember him as old meathead on All in the Family. Michael Stivic. I hope he does get the help that he get. And I'm sure deep down inside he's tearing himself up for what happened. But it was such a vicious act from what they've described that there's some deep-seated, I don't know I can't call it hatred, but he's definitely frustrated. I mean, wouldn't you be frustrated if you've been dealing with this stuff since you were a kid and you've gotten no better? No better at all. That's true. You talking about Meathead? Yeah, Meathead was a mess. Thank you, Down South Stitcher. Thanks for covering this in the light that you did, shedding light on this subject. Also, thanks for allowing us to see the emotional side of yourself. We are truly blessed to have you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate being able to be myself up here. I appreciate you guys understanding, because this is not about sympathy. I don't look for sympathy from nobody. My life is my life. And if I can relate to something that I'm reporting on, that's all the better. At least people can get an understanding of what people are dealing with. Absolutely. Do unto others. Because they're by the grace of God. Go who? The rapper Future, that's his nickname. Okay, I missed out what you're talking about. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. So again, I'm gonna check out now. I've had I wasn't expecting to get so emotional. So let me go and wash my face and jump in the shower and and start all over again. But I appreciate you guys' kindness. And yes, Meathead. Meathead. I loved Meathead. Yes, it is bedtime, Dawn. So thank you guys for sharing the evening with me. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope to come back tomorrow with some more content that is worthwhile to bring to this platform and not just a bunch of mess. Okay? So with that said, I love y'all. Be cool, be safe, and I love you. Bye-bye.
Hey there, my kinfolk, thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together makes me thrive. You're more than viewers, you're my kinfolk. You see my gratitude runs deep as the sea. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time with each comment, with each rhyme. You're my kinfolk, my family, my crew. So much love to all of you. Turn up the camera, let's make it bright. Your support lifts me up, takes flight.